Well, welcome back to Liverpool 12th Man Show. This is where we, uh, true Reds here can come together to dissect, analyze, and push our beloved Liverpool forward into glory. We've had a rough week. The fight isn't over. The Premier League title is still in our hands, or at least one hand on that Premier League title, certainly can be said. It might be somewhat of a looser grip, apparently, by some aspects of the word, but today we'll break down exactly what needs to happen next, what has happened as in past tense as well. Stay with us as we look at our captain's rallying call, the role of squad depth, the injustice of referees' decisions, a slight injustice. I'm not going to go on about referees and everything else. And also we're going to be speaking on we're also going to be speaking on some other subjects such as the final push. What is this final push that we need to get over the top or get over the finish line? While we're doing that, stay with us as we also ask for you to make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done that, obviously. Try to get that out of the way so I don't have to repeat that. And let's just continue to grow the community and show the world that the 12th man is exactly what it is. It's all of us together and all of us supporting each other and this club as we go forward in whatever means of the word. We have with us JK in the house as well. I like the avatar, by the way. Big up. How you doing, JK?
I'm okay, bro. I think yesterday's defeat hurt me more than the PSG defeat.
Mm-hmm.
I think because there was a cup there ready to be taken for us, you know what I mean? But it's the day after now. I think it's all right now, you know. But hey, bro, Premier League title, the only thing to be wrapped up now.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed. And I guess let's just get right into it. You're more definitely do what you just suggested, by the way, in the WhatsApp chat. And if we have the blessing of having another content creator / fellow Red as well to join us, that'd be great. Hopefully, we'll get some of the other participants of our crew here, the Fearsome Five, and of course, we have you in the chat, which is equally, if not at most, important as well, because without you, there is no show. So we're just going to get into a lot of these different things that are really important for us to take on in the conversation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you exactly what has been unveiling since the debacle that was a League Cup final. This is a quote that I'm going to repeat. When times get tough, the real leaders step up. Roger Van Dijk, Andy Robertson, and Diogo Jota have all spoken after a difficult week. Instead of issues, they've issued a challenge to themselves, to their teammates, and to us, even us. That's right, us, the fans. Virgil van Dijk said it best by saying, quote, "First of all, congratulations to everyone at Newcastle United. It's been a difficult and disappointing week for us, and it's very hard for me to put into words right now. Only thing I can," and this is Virgil van Dijk speaking, "the only thing I can say is that we want to bounce back, and we will." Andy Robertson echoed the message, admitting, quote, "We were second best, but we will take the knock and look to come back stronger." Hata also added, "We were not good enough today. A very disappointing week, but we will be back soon to fight for the league." These aren't just empty words, in my opinion. I definitely believe that they are gutted and definitely just disappointed in not only their efforts, but the results that they got from those efforts. But again, these aren't just empty words. It's a squad that has faced adversity before. You can think back to 2020 when the injuries piled up and we had to fight tooth and nail for a top 4 finish. This team knows how to bounce back, and the best way to do so is not only for the team to stick together, but for us as a fan base to stick together as well, in my humble opinion. The break gives us time to recoup and refocus before a massive Merseyside derby against obviously Everton. Let's not forget, we are still the team to beat this year. So top of the league to everyone out there, by the way. 12 points clear. The finish line is in sight. I have a question, though. JK, how crucial Van Dijk's leadership in moments like these? What is it that it's going to take for Virgil to get what he needs from these boys to get over the line, something that we failed to do last year? We did get a Carabao Cup last year, but we failed to get a Premier League title, which we were at points leading in that. So, gosh, Trudon, I'm going to bring up your. Thank you for including that too, by the way, Trudon. I'm definitely going to put that in there. I have not heard them say as such, but I am definitely going to bring that comment up. But JK, how crucial is Van Dijk's leadership in moments like these? What do we need out of our captain right now at the most?
Like, for me, he's been a good captain this season. I think he's probably been one of our best players, him and Salah. I think we needed him this week that we just had. Look, bro, we only lost by a goal in each game. We lost on penalties in one of the games, but against Newcastle, it was the one goal. I think he's going to be. It'll be good for him maybe to get away from the domestic football and go to international duty for a few weeks. Maybe it's what he and Gakpo and Gravenberch need for a few weeks, just to change the scene from maybe, it hasn't been the top week, bro. So for me, Virgil has been the top captain. The only thing I would say is this: we missed Henderson this season. Just to shout, we need a vocal guy in the middle of the pack. I think we said this yesterday on yesterday's show and stuff. I just felt like in some games we've lacked that voice in the middle of the park, bro. McAllister, his English is pretty good. I've heard him speak English. So Botwise and Gravenberch, all of them can speak English fairly well. So for me, there's no excuse not to shout and cheer up the players who are next to you on the pitch, bro. Henderson missing. That voice on the pitch has been missing for a while now. I think Virgil does it, but he does it in his own way. He's got his own sort of style in the way he sort of G's up the players. He shouts. I've seen him do it a number of times this season. So for me, Virgil, top captain, bro. I got nothing to say against him, and I think he will be okay when we come back against Everton.
Okay. We have Brian along with us. Yeah. It's not surprising that our rivals. I don't really consider Nottingham Forest a rival in any words of any means of the word. To be honest with you, I understand that they are doing better this year. Congratulations to them for competing to make top 4, but they have not been, nor will they be a contender for the title this year. So I'm not necessarily, I say that with confidence. So to Wolfie, yeah, he is one of the troll kings out there on as content creators. And as far as Egal's different settings when it comes to Salt. He should be called Salt Bay. Basically, is another name for him, possibly. And that is banter, respectful banter. It's not trying to be like hateful to him. But
what's up with Lee Wiskid? What's up, bro?
Big up.
You don't want to hear no comments, man. Yeah, they've been flying around.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
people are like,
Yeah,
I've even heard Slot out.
yeah,
I've
no
even
doubt.
heard
No,
that,
I mean,
man.
like, look, it's
Oh,
why and where, like, the comment, Trudon, big up Trudon, by the way. Big up Alexander, Mark A, Trudon, Lee, even if you're with us for a bit, for a quick second here.
Hash. Yeah.
Hash, definitely. And those of you that are joined, but not necessarily speaking at this moment or not necessarily chiming in through the chat, hello to you all. Those that see this on the replay, hello to you as well. But there was a comment by Trudon that was just telling us. Let me see here. I got it starred here. It was basically he just had to listen to both Egal and Wolfie say winning the league alone isn't memorable. That is beyond laughable. Two, coming from two clubs that haven't won this league in over 20 years. In over 2 decades of being around, they have not won a trophy. Not won this trophy, at least the league trophy. So to say that winning the league is not an accomplishment or it's not memorable, um, there's explicitives I would use, but yeah, I'm gonna be a better guy, not say them. So but we do have Brian in the house, by the way. And pick up Mary. Marianne is in the house as well. Big up, big up. I know. Yeah, I know. That's apparently going by what Egal from Egal Talks Football is his website or his handle. And I don't know Wolfie's handle for his television show. Wolfie has been a Nottingham Forest content creator that has gained some real notoriety lately because of his inclusion on some of the bigger content creator channels out there. And he has certainly been someone that has the art of trolling in him. Let me say that in all due respect, but he is a troll. Call all capital letters when it comes to conversation with him. So I'm gonna allow for Brian to say hello if he can or if he wants to or is
Yeah,
able to.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Brian, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Hope everybody's well. Enjoying St. Patrick's Day if you
Yes, there
celebrate,
you go.
if you're from this part of the world, whatever part of the world you're on, if you're enjoying it. It's not over
Happy
yet.
St. Patrick's Day, man.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, was there a
It's
match
a
yesterday?
mad one. I always
Was there,
forget the date, Brian, but it is obviously big in Liverpool. If there's any city in England like where it's big, it's probably Liverpool. Although it is big in other cities like London, obviously, always had a lot of Irish. But yeah, I forget the date. But I know roughly when it is, Paddy's Day, but I forget the date generally.
yeah, I was just going to say, was there a match yesterday? I don't know. Apparently there was a game yesterday.
Well, I went and bloody
Right?
missed it, didn't I? And all the excitement. I did not see it. And I haven't even seen highlights. I've seen Dan Burns' header, and then I couldn't look. Yeah. So I'll let you in on a secret. Old Lee missed the game, didn't he? But, happens sometimes. To miss a final, though, shocking. So
How
did I
did you
miss
miss it,
much
bro?
anyway? Did I miss much?
How did you miss it, man?
Yeah.
Busy.
We're going to talk about some of it. We're not necessarily going to go into reviews in the sense of, giving ratings out for the performance yesterday, but we're definitely going to review it in one way or another. We're going to bring out some of the highlights or bring out some, at least the comments and commentary being said from the piece. I'll ask this of you, Lee. Does this international break? I know that JK said something to the matter, but does this international break come at the perfect time for Liverpool to reset, or is it maybe better for us to have that game right now so we can dive right back into the quickest way to get it out of your system is to get back to playing and get a win in your system. So is it?
I feel, the break has got a bigger chance of being a blessing in disguise than some sort of disruptor for us at the moment. After losing to PSG and then losing this final, I think a 2-week break would be welcome, not just for Arnie and his backroom boys, like, but for the players to get their minds away from that and then just come back. And it's and we go again, and it's the derby of all things when we come back. It's not just any old game; it's the derby when we come back. So
Exactly.
I think it does have more potential to help us than hinder us at this point. We needed a break. We're 15 points clear. We've got to look at ourselves and say, we're 15 points clear for a reason. We've lost a couple of games, but we're still a very good side.
Yeah. It is. It isn't exactly any old game, just as you pointed out. It is the derby, and it is something of has a little bit extra bite to it this year, considering the events that went down at Goodison Park. The last time we'll be playing at Goodison Park, at least the men's team, that is, the last time they'll be playing at Goodison Park. I believe the ladies are going to be playing there going forward until they decide what they're going to do next. But it does go to carry a lot of the worth of what had to be said, I guess you say, by not only Virgil, but also by Robbo, by Hata, who has taken on a more noted or more vocal presence of being a leader on this team lately. He participates in a lot of the PR campaigns for the club, and he also takes place in a lot of the questions that are directed towards the team. He is vocal in having an answer or doing his best to answer he might not necessarily be a captain, but he is certainly someone that holds a leadership role, being he is a tenured player on this team now. Trying to think, how does anyone know off the top of their head how long he's been with the club now? It's been a while.
4 years.
4 years now? Okay.
I think it's 4. Well, this would be half a season, I suppose, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because he came in. Or wait, no, didn't he come in? I don't think he came in January. He came in summertime.
Yeah, he's going the summer, but he's going to be like.
Oh, considering this is only halfway through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, halfway through. So.
Got you. So I don't know if you did catch what I said about Hata, but Hata had to say, what Hata had to say was, we were not good enough yesterday. He said today, but I'm just paraphrasing. Yesterday, he said a very disappointing week. He also said that, but we will be back soon to fight for the league. I noted that he didn't necessarily pinpoint himself for, saying his own, taking accountability, I guess, for his own shortcomings in that week. But he did note that this team understands the fact that it's been a disappointing week and something that they all are looking forward to getting past and beyond. Do you think that he needed to take a little bit more accountability of his own inadequacies, I guess you could say, on in some of his play as of late, or do you think that it was that he was right to just kind of like say to?
I think he
carte blanche.
He did last week, didn't he?
I don't know.
Last week when he came out in that UEFA press conference. He basically said, "I've had a shit season." To paraphrase, he said, "I've had a
he pretty much did, didn't he? And not so
yeah.
Words,
But talk is cheap now. I mean, I have no time for motivational speeches by someone after we've just been beaten in the cup final to say, "Oh, forget all that. We'll come back stronger." This is not the time for that, man. This is not the time to come out and say, all this maybe thinks the fans want to hear it, but people like him, they need to do their talking on the pitch. And yesterday was a day for doing your talking on the pitch. And that's really all fans want to see, as far as I'm concerned. I can hold my hands up Nalante, if Nalante was around, I thought this team had legs in it that it obviously didn't have. I thought the manager was in a better position to judge, but again, whether it's X or Y player is a different story. But we didn't look like a team I recognized watching yesterday. And a lot of that, I think, is to do with the fact that he has probably pushed it a little bit too much. He picked the best team he probably thought he had. But yeah, someone like Jota can come out afterwards and he probably just should have said, yeah, I didn't have a great game, but I don't really need to hear that from a player that we go again, we'll be stronger. Yesterday was the day to be stronger. You know, we all know what you can go and do. So yeah, that doesn't really touch the sides for me. It makes no difference. He can come out and say what he wants today. Yesterday was the day to do your talking. Not today. Not today. All the fans know how we feel. We don't need Jota to tell us how we feel. We don't need him to tell us that we're going to go on and be stronger. No, poor. Yeah, he's been poor. Someone put up the stat there. I think Connor was saying it earlier, and it's not a slight on it. He just said Jota, Darwin, and Diaz in their last 31 games between them have scored 3 goals. You know, they've all, a lot of these guys have not been performing right. So I don't need to hear from them what they're going to do right again tomorrow. I really don't need. And just to what your question, I know we're all still a bit, I know I'm angry about it anyway, but I know I don't really sound very angry, but this break I think is going to be good for us because the PSG results and then this result, yeah, just go away for a couple of weeks and come back. I don't need another game in 2 days' time because I think they probably fucked that up as well. You know, I just think go away and then come back after a couple of weeks and see what happens then and try and get recharged somehow. But yeah, we were out forward, outperformed, out muscled, out everything yesterday. We lost every duel, all the stats, other than possession. Other than possession, they did us on everything. So yeah, I think Jota needs to just take his medicine and make a few quiet comments and to just go away and come back and do better. I don't need to hear it. I don't need Dr. Phil shit from Jota today because he's not Dr. Phil. He doesn't have the remedy.
Mate, I'm unsure exactly what it is that ails Diogo at the moment because, you know, to all intents and purposes, he should be in decent form. He's been fit long enough now. So I'm not sure what it is with him at the moment. Has it gone? Has something snapped in his mind where he's worried about getting injured? And I've seen that in the comments. I don't think so. I don't know, because I'm a big fan of his. Like anyone who's ever heard me talk will know how big a fan I am of Diogo Jota. But the flip side, it's the fitness and all that, isn't it? And something's got to give, hasn't it? Something's got to give. I think.
Maybe it was you, Lee, saying that you're going to score every game.
Yeah, and he framed from doing that this week, although I said he'd start. I thought I wouldn't back him to
No,
score.
you didn't say it, but then you did. You was like, oh, I can see him, you know, something like that. I was like, Lee, don't do it.
I'll tell you what I do remember saying on Saturday night, that he'll torment Burn and Shah, possibly. I said he's the one who could torment them with his you know, just his football and his movement in the box. And it turns out and got the bloody goal, like more or less settled the game. From what I heard of it, like once they went 1-0 up, there was not a lot doing even after that. I don't know.
The 2-0, the 2-0 killed the game for me. As soon as it went 2-0, I thought, oh, 1-0. If we stayed 1-0 till the end, we would have got an equaliser. But for me, that 2-0 sort of cemented the game for them.
I agree with you on that part. The slight caveat that I would put on that description, at least, is that when they went up 2-0, that really took out a lot of the air from our balloon. But I think more so it was the fact that we went down 1-0. The way we did was unexcusable. That's just a tactical coaching. That's something that needs to be addressed. that can't happen. You can't give the tallest guy on the other team ample space to just, be able to
And
be
you just said,
found in the middle. Yeah, and be found in the middle and slot home a goal. And the second part, though, of that I wanted to say, though, is that it's more so that they scored that goal. They scored a goal right after that, right? And that's all well and good, or whatever, however you want to place it. But why I say it's all well and good is because at that moment, that goal was taken away. There was offside, or it was goalkeeper interference, or something along those lines, right? And why that hurt is because at that moment, it was like, okay, here's your reprieve. Here's your opportunity to get back in this game. You have one goal that separates you from equalizing this game. And then to allow for that team and for the same player, basically, to have an opportunity to put home that second goal, that's just one of those things where I'm just like, that's unexcusable. Like, as in, the first goal should have been a wake-up call. The second goal, when you get the reprieve, is a, hey, wake the F up call. And then when you allow for them to go and do it again, it's kind of like you're sleepwalking through this game. It's a final.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's unexcusable. I don't know what it is, but that's unexcusable.
Amazing. Still don't know what the starting 11 was. Were there any surprises?
Jeez.
No, he went with the same team, bro. Kwanzaa came in for Trent. Other than that, it was the same.
We started Kelleher over Ali.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was all right with that.
Critical of that. I don't know why. Some people were critical of that. They were saying that he wasn't. I don't think Kelleher was bad yesterday at all.
Did Allison would have saved him, yes or no? Did he have any chance? I only seen a brief flash of the damn.
The first goal that was scored was by no means a goal, or like, as in, he wasn't saving that goal. It was a well-struck header, had pace behind it. He was in space.
That's
right?
What it looked like to me, yeah.
And it went, and he picked a side, and it went, and couldn't get to it.
Little a keeper can do, like when it goes exactly where the player heading it intends it to go from them positions. Is it like there's little a keeper can do?
Right. Yeah, that I think was what it was. The first goal was what it was. The second goal that was luckily, at least the first goal that was luckily taken out, was fortunate, because if not, it was another defensive breakdown where,
in my big mouth, I name checked Byrne as somebody we could get at in these final. He was the only one I did. I said him and Shark and we got at, but Byrne specifically, and I had like mental images of Jota, like, giving him the slip and finishing on something like. And it ended up being Dan Byrne that struck instead of Jota. Well, there you go. That's what you get for opening your big mouth sometimes, isn't it?
Well, I just thought that it was circumstances that it would have been. Bernie, I'm going to star your question too, by the way. Any questions that you guys have, or anything that you guys want to include, include it, and either myself or Brian or the crew here will star it and try to get it involved in the conversation. I'll put that from Hyler. I've got Hyler's question there too.
Alexander knocks the nail on the head. That's the issue. The team can't catch warning signs. Like, for me, that goal they got before they scored the second was offside. Like, we should have just sort of stepped up right there and then. Bro, 2 minutes later, they got a goal and it counted. Like, what is that? Kamikaze defending, not concentrating, just acting like a bunch of jokers, bro. Like, yesterday, I would say, was the worst display of the season. It's as simple as that. That was the worst. We played better against PSG on Tuesday. You know what I mean? Even though we went out. But for me, that display yesterday, terrible.
No doubt. It was definitely pitiful. I mean, to be honest, with the second goal, not the one that got ruled out, but the second goal was a cross into the box where unfortunately Andy Robertson gets outdueled for the aerial duel. Murphy wins it, and it is headed down right into the path of Isak. And I'm going to hold players accountable for where they need to be held accountable. That's our captain's duty right there. Our captain should have been our captain. I don't know. He was in no man's land somewhat. And he needed to be tighter marked with Isak, or at least knowing where Isak is to be able to address Isak. Than he was, because he wasn't marked. He wasn't marked on anyone. He wasn't guarding anyone. And when that cross got headed down back into Isak's pathway, unlike the cross that got headed down into Hata's pathway, Isak put it away. And then next thing you know, we're down 2-0. We're down 2-0, and we're fighting, if you want to call it that, to get back into this game. And that's when all of a sudden it seems like the coach just went into, I wouldn't say panic mode, but he certainly decided to take some really, really desperate.
Never in recent living memory have I welcomed an international break with such open arms as I do at the moment. I'll be glad for them to. I don't necessarily want 2 weeks off, mate. I wish there was a game soon, but there isn't. And do you know what I mean? It's going to do us good. I hope it'll give the players time to think about something else. Give Arne and his back room time to analyse what went wrong in both the games we lost.
I think it's good. It's that game.
Derby.
I think it's good. It's the derby next, is so the players know when they get back.
Good, very good, yeah. It's very good that it's the derby next. Any other game wouldn't have been. It's a very good game to come back to, and also the fact that it's midweek. We return at the weekend, and there's FA Cup games, and then we get to wait till midweek till we get to grips with Everton. That's another good one. So the players will have been back more days than they're usually back, because usually when they come back, they play straight away that weekend. But we're on the FA Cup, so.
I want to also say though that I didn't think Kelleher had a bad game in any words of the means, because like that second goal was a well taken goal. It was like more of a response style. He wasn't like poorly out of position. It was a quick witted goal from Isak.
Shot stopper, like it's got to be close enough to him so you can get near it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not, is it?
What I was just going to add to that, Lee, was the fact that later on it was 2-0 still. And look, it'd be one thing if that was the end of the onslaught that we had to take on and deal with. No, it wasn't. They kept on. They kept pushing, and Newcastle had another opportunity to get at us, and Kelleher made possibly the save of the game, basically, where he was able to thwart Isak from getting his second in the game. And he made a very, very good save. Off balance, was able to parry it away, and Isak was off balance as well, but he did an incredible did some incredible work to even get a foot to the ball, and Kelleher at least kept us remotely in the game. Again, this next segment, I guess, is where and what we were talking about. Lee asked about the lineup. The lineup was hey, if you want to know what the lineup was, basically, other than Trent Alexander-Arnold being a part of it, it was Kwanzaa now that had to be our right back. Kelleher in goal, But other than that,
Oh yeah, I got it wrong with the keeper. I predicted Ali, but I got everything else right. I think.
Other than that, it was basically the team in its entirety from the PSG, from our Paris travels. So what was so notable about that is our next segment, which was Federico Chiesa. Is he a missing piece that has been neglected by this coach? And so let's just talk about a player who, in my opinion, showed up when others didn't yesterday, and that's Federico Chiesa. In just 16 minutes against Newcastle, Chiesa showed more energy, more urgency. Key word, you can put that in quotes, bold it out, underline it, put it in italics if you want, showed more urgency and directness than most of our starters combined.
Mm-hmm.
He scored our only goal, had more touches in the opponent's box than any other Liverpool player. Let me repeat that. He had more touches in Newcastle's box than any other Liverpool player, and that's playing in 16 minutes. He even put in work defensively. Because there's some of us that have been critical of, oh, well, maybe he's not out there because he can't counter press or he can't provide those defensive measures that we're looking for. He did that. So here's the big question. Why is he not playing more? Arne Slot has spoken about keeping a small squad, but the evidence is clear. Our usual front three, meaning Hatta, Lucho, and Salah, are struggling at the moment.
I remember going back a few weeks when we finished top of the Champions League table and managed to secure our place in the League Cup final. Like the media were doing pieces like, "Well, Liverpool doing so well. What's behind us?" And we're like, "How good our squad is." Liverpool, look at the squad here. Look at this squad. You've got choices all over, but it's not that good, really, is it? Because it's not fit for Slot's purposes. There's players that he just won't use from the start. Who are there? Who we all like, and but that's got nothing to do with it, has it? Like we all like Endo, we all like Elliott, we all like Chiesa, we all like Simicast, but they're not up to scratch, are they, mate? That needs to change in the summer.
I don't know about that. Let me finish my my little piece here. I'm gonna have a question for you.
That's the clear one. Like he won't use them from the start, and now we're tired. So it's got to change. No. Isn't it? It's got to change.
What I was going to emphasize is this. Look, Arne Slot has spoken about keeping a small squad. But as some were noting,
it's a great theory, like have small squad, like and do the business.
I know, Lee. Let me just get through this last little part. But let me just say that Diaz has one goal, I think, in the last 18 games. That's not good enough. That's me saying it about Lucho. Trust me, that's not good enough. Hatta has 0 in the last 10 games. My beloved Darwin Nunez, right? 1 in 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Salah has been looked at to be carrying the load, and he has been scoring and assisting, obviously. Thus, the reason why he's getting closer and closer to that vaunted Henry record of 20 and 20, 20 plus goals and 20 plus assists. However, even Salah, minus penalties, has been wanting when it comes to production goal-wise. Let's be honest. But if Mo Salah is leaving at the end of the season, we need to start thinking long-term here. Has Chiesa shown that he's possibly ready to be even given an opportunity? And let's not forget, this guy is, let me repeat this guy is a winner in Chiesa. Not only a winner, he's a Champions League winner. A player who has performed on the biggest stage before. And I don't think we can afford, we got him for a 4-year contract. We can't afford to waste his talent on the bench simply because a coach wants to rely on his chosen few. If we are to finish the season strong and set up ourselves up for another title next year, and that's the key part and point, get this one done, absolutely. However, we've got to be in the conversation of repeating what we've done this year. We need to trust the full squad, and Chiesa is a part of that squad. He has earned his chance, in my opinion. Question to the panel. Should Chiesa be starting more games, especially with our forward struggling for goals this season? I'll start with JK since he has the Chiesa logo or Chiesa avatar.
Okay, like for me, bro, since he's been given game time, he has had one bad game. Other than that, in all appearances he's made as sub, he's always come on and done one thing. And what's that, bro? Look forward, shoot, trying to get a goal. And that's what it's all about. Hence why yesterday I wasn't surprised it was him who got us a goal. And I've been saying it for a while now. Chiesa was the type of guy you put in a PSG game, second leg at home. You think, you know what? He's the type of guy you put in a European game. And he never did it. He got no seconds on the pitch. Okay, for me, Slot has made a few mistakes in the last week. Jota starting was one. Gravenberch starting was another. So for me, Endo and Darwin should have come straight in for them. And then Chiesa not being used in the PSG second game, and then Chiesa being used yesterday earlier than normal, 71 minutes or something. Maybe he should have just came on at half time. Serious. Take Jota off. Took on Darwin and Chiesa at the same time, and Harvey Elliott. You know, like, come on. So for me, he's misused Chiesa. Chiesa looked hungry yesterday. That's why I really like his slide tackle. He ran all the way, slide tackle, got the ball.
Usually looks hungry. You've got to give him that. Like, you know, he shoots off.
No, he puts a shift. He puts the effort in, bro.
But
that's one thing Liverpool fans like.
It's been a bit puzzling because there was a point around the Brentford game when we won with the 2 late Darwin goals. It was around that time. He looked good and we thought, yeah, he's going to come in and play a role now. And then it just never happened and hasn't.
Never happened, bro.
Yep. And it's strange. It's a hard one to work out, right? This though with Endo sometimes that we have the same moments for Endo.
Endo could have played inside
finally thought we would, considering that, you know, the coach has made comment after comment about his professionalism, about how good of a player he is and the likes and yada yada. And yeah, even in games that we probably should have just said, hey, start him with a more defensive-minded structure, more defensive-minded foundation for our team in this run. We don't do so. We've seen him use them in cases where we're trying to shut games down. And guess what? We've done so.
Yeah, it's not a bad squad, but we're lucky to have won the league with it. It's because of what's happened with City, isn't it? Like, their drop-off has allowed us to win the league. But normally this squad would not be good enough to win the league title, don't think.
Also, let me just say this too, by the way. Let me see if I can get this for you. Let me see if I can get this.
Bro, I was this time last week, a day before the game. Tomorrow would have been PSG. Yeah. Everything was blessed. Everything was sweet, bro. I thought we were doing pretty fucking well. The only problem with this is we got bullied in 2 games, and in them 2 games, bro, we lost. Simple as that. We got bullied. Why? Because we're tired. When you're tired, you're going to get bullied. You're not going to bully no one because you're too bloody tired. And for me, Endo was the guy to go into that game yesterday. It was a no-brainer for me, bro. So he made that mistake there. We lost because of fatigue in certain areas, which allowed the opposition to bully us. And for me, I don't think that our squad is too bad, bro. Look at our options up top. We've got 6 guys to play in them 3 positions.
We don't. Lost obviously does. He wouldn't come out and say that.
Slot's
He just refuses
stubborn.
to use so many of them players, and that's caused a problem now, isn't it? Like, we were too tired to put up a proper fight of it at Wembley, which is shocking, but that's what happened.
Yeah, but we knew that. I knew that. 12 knew that. Brian knew that. We all knew that. Hence why all of us said Endo needs to start that game, bro. So what's he looking at? What's he been watching the last few
But that's
weeks?
because he's being naive about it. To be honest with you, that's what it's coming down to. He can
Yeah,
rant and rave. He can rant and rave.
Like,
He can rant and rave all he wants on the sideline about his players being adversely punished by, the referees not making calls or not having proper abilities to maintenance or maintain a certain decorum or equal presentation of fouls to be, for both teams alike. So you can say all those different things. But what I can say too, which goes into our next segment, because I'll save this other question for the next part. But I can say this, as in just as you guys are saying, they bullied us, or Norm is saying it. Hyler brought up the stat about how we lost in duels to this team. What it was to me was also a case where, look, Newcastle's physicality is something that I emphasized, super emphasized about going into this game, because we know that it's difficult enough to get, sometimes referees to look at things properly, like as in a player can get bullied in the box, but if the same, if not less of contact is being administered outside the box, it's a foul outside the box, but it's not a foul inside the box. Or, it's too early in the game to give a player a yellow card type situations, or cases where players are allowed to play on when it should have been stopped or whatever, or they get a stern talking to, told 2, 3, 4 times at points. Trippier got warned not once, not twice, but 3 times in this game.
I suppose if you choose to look at it, from a positive angle, look at it through the lens of this will teach him for next season. It's his first season in this league, and he'll know better next time, maybe, to not tire the players out. I just hope that's how it works out anyway, that we learn from this. As horrible as it's been to go out of the Champions League and lose a final in the same week,
I think
hopefully we'll get
I know that you didn't get a chance to. I know you didn't get a chance to see the game, but if you had seen that case, that was a little frustrating, because of the final, you expect a referee to allow for some of the play to continue, as to not have him take it to the level of affecting the game with his calls. So he's going to allow for certain things to go unmarked or to go without getting cards or the likes, But we've got to talk about this, and that's Joe Linton's reckless challenge on Harvey Elliott was an absolute disgrace. Now, this isn't necessarily saying that this is why we lost the game or something along those lines. I'm not even going down that route. What I am saying, though, is that the challenge by Joe Linton wasn't even a challenge. First off, the reckless action of Joe Linton was unexcusable to not be carded. And it goes to tell you what I mean by what happened in this game. In the 11th minute of stoppage time, Elliott was dragged down by the neck. It was so bad that his ankles were flung into the side there. But I mean, those same ankles that were scraped in 2 separate lunges. VAR checked it and somehow decided it wasn't a red card. And that's where I was just like, okay, if you're not angry, my Reds, not you as in the fan base, we're all agitated and angry. But as that team out there, if you're not angry, and you're not ready to make a difference on there and not step up, try to match their physicality, match their aggressiveness, then you're kidding yourself. You're going to allow for them to dictate the game. That's what happened. This just wasn't like this. Be a different story if it was just one challenge by Joe Linton and that was it. He was already told previously to tone it down. He'd been throwing himself around recklessly all game, at reacting and being physical and trying to pump up the crowd with his antics. That's all well and good, and you expect the same from our players as well, probably. But the fact that this player was using brute force more suited to rugby than football has to be noted. And yet no red card, no real consequence. And now, let me repeat this. Now Elliott limped away, and is potentially injured. This is becoming a pattern. We saw it with McAllister's early red card against Bournemouth, which was later rescinded. We saw it with Diaz's goal wrongly ruled offside by Spurs. I understand those are different occasions, but all the same, that's some straight up BS. Because we deserved it to be fairly officiated, and that wasn't the case. There's no way. It wasn't even like he went for the ball. He literally grabbed Elliott, pulled him down, and the referee came over and said, "You all right? You all right, Elliott?" And kept it moving. Joe Linton didn't receive a card for it. It'd be one thing we got a red card. That'd be which I think he deserved. He didn't receive a yellow card for it. That's poor.
His hat fell off or something, and he noticed it on the news.
Let me say this. Let me finish on this so I last, and I'll land it, and I'll bring it up to open for the debate. Not only did he not receive a yellow card for it, let me repeat this. He didn't even receive a foul for it. We're allowed to just pull players down by the scruff of their neck, and he didn't even receive a foul for it. Look, my Reds, no one's going to give us respect, much less allow for us to play this game. It is something that we have to recognize the fact that VAR failed us this time, so I don't hear the live VAR pool bull crap.
Yeah, what happened with VAR yesterday? Didn't Chiesa's goal get ruled out and then given or some shit, or was it like?
Oh, trust me, it was because the reason why I got ruled first not to be a goal was because the sideline official flagged Chiesa offsides.
Uh-huh.
When once again, the sideline referee was behind the play. He wasn't marking the line. He was behind the line.
Mm-hmm.
Poor angle to see, then proceeds to call him offsides, which then goes for 3 to 4 minutes of them checking not only the offsides, but every other reason they could possibly try to find for us to not get that goal to count, thus taking away any bit of that bit of momentum that we had there to just evaporate.
I'm just looking at it like I'm clinging to the vain hope that this will do us good in the future anyway, like that we'll come back stronger from this, because it has been a nasty week, it's a nasty one, going to the Champions League and losing the final all in 1 week. But we're going to have to swallow it, aren't we, and move on.
No, it's hard to
players a bit fresher when they come back and they can just get to grips with everything and give them a good chase.
Lee, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, just as Jimmy said, it was a clothesline tackle. That's all. I did not say that call would have been would have tipped the scales in our favor to win the game or something, or that prevented us from doing this or that. But what I am saying is the fact that was looked at by VAR and not even looked at as a foul by the referee is absolutely criminal. And if you're not mad about it, I don't understand why you aren't, because now Elliott is possibly injured. Is possibly injured. That's why I'm bringing it up. That makes me angry. It has nothing to do about the result. We lost the game. We got outplayed by Newcastle. I'm not saying anything of the different. But what I am saying is that Joe Linton is a punk. And I think that it was absolutely reprehensible to see that wasn't properly adjudicated by not only VAR but by the referee. Again, who did not give him a foul. It was not deemed as a foul.
It was
one thing for it not to be a red card. One thing for it not to be a yellow card, but to not be a foul makes you go, what are we doing here?
Yeah. When we were playing the really high line under Jurgen, and like teams were just miles offside over and over again, like, but you know, the play would go on, and like our defenders would have to sprint back, risking an injury. You know what I mean? That was
right.
Getting on the nerves. Like that was happening a lot, wasn't it? Letting play go on when they were miles offside, and sometimes they even include it on the highlights when a team scored an offside goal against us. That's what makes me laugh. Right. A well offside goal, I mean, though.
Right. I'm not giving the ref any bit of a. I'm not giving the ref any. The referee's part is to either utilize his referee sideline officials. VAR. The referee now has sideline officials, or has always had sideline officials to be his backup in making calls. He has the fourth official doesn't really do much of anything, but the other than just be an ear for coaches. But beyond that, he also has VAR that is set to be acceptable, you know. So to say he didn't call what he didn't see, that's fantastic. If that's the case, and he does have an eye on the fact that that's where the play. It wasn't like they were just running, and the play wasn't just there. I mean, like if it was the fact that it happened as a result of the play matter, and beyond that, even if he didn't see that, it still should be something that VAR, which is responsible to do so. If a referee's quote unquote, as Pops is saying, was not able to make the call because he didn't see it, well, then guess what? VAR should say, look at what you freaking obvious miss of a call that you did not see. For VAR officials to go over every loose little stone to try to find a reason why to disqualify Chiesa's goal, I think he could have went to the monitor and looked at that foul. That's all we're saying. I'm not saying that's the difference maker. I'm just saying the fact that right now I'm now looking at a red that's possibly injured and should not, and had no call, had a referee stand above him and be like, "You all right?" As if that's some measure of apology. That's not what I'm not all about that. That's why I'm agitated. But and I mean, like, look, and I'll be honest with you, like, yeah, exactly my point, Jimmy. That's exactly my point. There's a monitor to go look at it. If it's not a foul or if it's not something worthy of being looked at, cool. Then like that's one thing. But that was a foul that should have been looked at. And the fact that Joe Linton had been doing that had been doing very similar physical actions all game, and for it to lead up to the point where he feels it's just he's got carte blanche to freaking rugby tackle a player, that's why I'm making a point of saying referees need to have a little bit better control of a game. I get it's a final, I get it's going to be physical, but to allow for the physicality to get to a point where you're not doing much other than warningly shaking a finger at someone's face saying, don't do that again, and then allowing for them to continue to do it again and again, that's something that's troubling. If you think otherwise, then definitely tell me in the chat, and the panel can say what they will. But that's my opinion. I just want a game to be properly officiated. That's all I'm asking. If you guys want to like throw in the caveats and be like, you know,
James
special rules that people have to get over and understand, and then okay, makes the game a whole hell of a lot harder to officiate when you have to put in every asterisk that people want to put into it. Just officiate the game plain and simple, above board, right and correctly. That's all I'm asking. Because I don't want to see our players get hurt. If you have no problem with it, that's
rugby
that's how players do get hurt.
Tannoy quite quickly what's going on if you can't see from where you are, like, you know, for the crowd benefit. That's what I've heard anyway about rugby, that or to be, I don't know, put it up on a screen so you can read the bastards. I don't know, but that's what I've heard about rugby, that the crowds are informed a bit more, like what's going on at any given moment. Because it's quite, you know, sometimes you don't know what the bloody hell's going on, do you, these days? Like, stopping, like, what happened there? What's going on?
Yeah. What's let's see. I see you, Norm. Let's see.
Must have been mega for them getting the trophy after all them years. Yeah, that long wait for them to get that. I've seen, I've had all the teams. It was the national news. It went, Liverpool didn't win that final, and showed you like, blah, blah, blah. And it showed you Alan Shearer getting excited and his hat fell off in all the kerfuffle of when Newcastle scored. So good on them anyway. Yeah, they deserve a trophy. They are a good club. Like, they've waited a long time. So we couldn't actually lose to a much better one for me. At Leeds, don't mind, but it would have pissed me off losing to anyone. At Spurs, I wouldn't have minded, but it's not a bad one. Newcastle, to lose to them, not too bad for me.
Well, I don't want to lose. I care less.
I don't want
to lose to anyone. So, but I understand what you're getting at.
Losing to Chelsea, now that's horrible.
Yeah, there are teams that it would hurt a lot more to lose to, but it hurts all the same to lose to any team. Don't care who it is. Don't care who it is.
Well, it's graciously received by them, and maybe some of their fans will go easier on us.
I don't think Mighty Mag upset anybody.
To stop fucking getting on our backs. To stop cunts. Sorry, pardon me, Sanj.
I don't think he upset anyone.
Have a more positive.
Well, I guess if no one wants to speak on the whole Joe Litton thing, all right.
No, you boys understand. You do your thing. You've had plenty to say. I'm not going to cut across anybody like that.
It's just I just don't know, man. It's just weird. Sometimes I get it. Like, I get it.
I just can't add much more to what you. I mean, you've there's nothing I can say to really going to add to what you said. Should have been a foul. Wasn't a foul. Yeah, really. And like Pops is saying, if the ref, which people didn't really notice or speak on, was the fact that he actually did what they do in rugby, which there's no need for whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned. To go on the mic, and it went on the loudspeaker. The Chiesa goal, which was ruled onside in the end correctly, obviously, which everyone could see by VAR, and the ref actually put on the mic, and it came out over the tannoy in the stadium explaining, after a VAR check, goal by Liverpool what number does Chiesa wear?
14.
Whatever. Number 14 is a goal, onside, yada yada. They don't normally do that. That's a new thing, is to actually do what they do in rugby, or they do what they do in NFL. But look, other sports are other sports, you know. Can't say like, oh, but the referees in ping pong do this. It's football.
It's when it changes, you know, when they're reviewing a goal, initially it's for offside, and then they look for a foul when you can't get the offside on you. like the Endo one at Wembley, Endo foul at Wembley last season to deny VVD. I mean, that
it wasn't league. If you look at it,
horseshit, that unmitigated horseshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just, but we're talking like, yeah, I don't want to bring up sort of reasons and facts why certain things happen in terms of what they do. I'm not excusing. I just talk about the way they show things, and what I'm just saying is yesterday they did something that they don't normally do, in terms of announcing to the crowd over the microphone, so everyone knows, which they didn't really need to know. But it was quite funny that Chiesa, who hasn't got a word of English, even after the goal was given on the loudspeaker, was still looking, and he didn't realize he'd scored officially until everybody started jumping around. But I mean, yeah, that to me was
that's not a good look.
It's pretty baffling in terms of, somebody pointed out as well. It's like these guys now, they're scared of their own shadows. They're so scared of making a mistake.
Yep.
That people say, oh, they were looking for a reason to chalk it off. I don't think they're looking for a reason to chalk it off. I think what they're doing now is they're so scared of making a mistake that they just check everything to the nth degree to make sure that they haven't missed something. And then you end up with a goal that it only took one look from the VAR guy to go, no, that's onside, go ahead. That became 2.5 minutes.
That's all it took. Yeah, just one look. I know it's gone all weird on it, man. Just, for Chiesa not to know that he had scored, like when everyone else did, was weird, wasn't it? I'm just thinking about it now, like, but that's just added a new dimension to the oddness of yesterday. The news thing that I saw said it was ruled offside, so that must have been filmed before it got ruled onside, because I thought we'd lost 2-0.
No, so, if you were to see the play, you would understand the fact of why some people are just like kind of angry about it. Because it'd be one thing if he was like, if it was marginal. He was like, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close to being offsides. It's just that the side official didn't have a good angle and was behind the play. Like, you know how
yeah, like when Lucho's goal was ruled off, he was behind the play. An
official should be, sideline official should keep the line. He should be in line with the last man, right? He was not. He was not. And that's the case. And it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the referee, like as in, so the point is this, I just got lectured or told about how a referee didn't see the call, so he doesn't make the call. But this referee apparently saw something that wasn't remotely right, and he made the call. Do you not see some irony in that? Or is it just me? But is there not some irony in that? If he was offside, if he was to be offsides, guess what? Every goal gets looked at. But this sideline official not only got it wrong, but got it horribly wrong. And if we hadn't had a situation where we have sideline or VAR, guess what? That goal would have been chalked off. That goal wouldn't have counted. Not that it matters much now, but the point is that goal wouldn't have even counted.
Even though I don't like VAR, never been a fan of it. No, that's true, bro. If he put his flag up, that's offside. Simple.
Offside, simple as that.
Yeah.
But that's 2-3, maybe like 2-3 games ago, or 2-3 weeks ago before in this competition. Guess what? We could have been knocked out because of that. With a calling like that.
Yeah, but for me, the time they took for that decision sort of took out the steam out of our energy we got from Chiesa's goal. We had like 5 minutes, the amount of time it took. So, but for me, I want to ask you guys, what did you think of that Trippier handball? Like for me, I know he come off his foot like that. No one's even talking about that one.
I know
Dave.
exactly what
That
you're
was
talking.
a joke.
It was a handball.
Oh,
It was.
that's for me a handball.
That's subjective. I don't know. I think it was a handball, but I'm speaking from a Reds perspective. So of course I'm gonna be so looked and seen as being biased, and I openly accept that. But I also openly accept the fact that I've seen that being called. His hand was extended from his body, and it stopped Diaz from running on to that ball.
Simple.
So
There you go.
it's
There you go.
an action, a handball action that prevented a player from a goal opportunity. That's a handball. I get it where you're like, oh, well, it's not in the silhouette of his body. It was extended. So, but then again, that call was apparently looked at and reviewed too, probably. Or
That's a handball for me all day long.
I'll get the whole the referee didn't see it, so it doesn't matter. I guess or
The
something.
distance, his arm from the ball, he met that ball perfect timing. It was like the distance he took from where he was towards the ball showed you that was on purpose for me. Yeah, and the Chiesa.
Again, it's not, and this is not. Oh, JK, I'll let you finish. I just wanted to say real quick though, this is not saying that this is all about. This game was all about the refereeing. I'm not getting to the point where we got outplayed by Newcastle.
No, of course, we got bullied. Big
Did a
time.
good shot, though.
We got beaten, and that's that. What I am just saying is observations of what occurred in the game. Okay, that's all I'm talking about. This is a review show. We're talking about things that happened in this game that we either thought were right or wrong, and that's what we're doing. If you have issues with that, I can't do nothing for you.
Brian, so you thought it was a penalty as well then, yeah?
I never said that.
No, do you think it was?
It drops into that realm of if it was given against you, you wouldn't be happy. Look, it could have been given. But I think what the commentators have VAR. VAR is in constant communication with the refs. There's constant dialogue, and the commentators have access to that feed. It's not like they've hacked into it, but they can hear what they're saying. So it's kind of, they have a role in as well of kind of saying, instead of like the refs, blah, blah, blah. I think if I remember correctly, what they said was his arms were out for balance. His arm was in a natural position for balance, and it touched his arm, but it wasn't intentional. Like that was the. So like there are reviewed as well. Everything is reviewed behind the scenes as well. So that's what they said, was that his hand was out in a natural position, basically. For about, you can't stick your hands to yourself and say that, look, he wasn't. But clipped his hand. I think it was, and again, it's Premier. It's not Premier League. I was going to say Premier League. It's EFL Cup. But the guy, I'm not sure who it was. I think they have another ref on comms. He said, "Oh, in Europe, that's a penalty." He said, "If that happens in Champions League, that's a penalty." So it's. But again, I'm not here because I don't really. Because every time I say something,
anyway,
no, but
yeah,
no, but
I know what you mean.
all
I
I'm
know what you
saying-
mean.
No, but all I'm saying is anytime I speak anytime I don't pile in on refs, I get piled in on as if I'm defending the ref. I'm just trying to say what was said. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying what they said was they reviewed it and they said that his arm was where it needs. His arm wasn't put out, blah, blah, blah. So they didn't give it. But the guy said in Europe, that's not a thing. So, if that was Champions League, that'd be a penalty. But it's not. So, look, if that was us, it'd be soft or whatever. It's not like someone sticks their hand out and bats it away kind of thing. But like 12 to saying, you can pick it apart and all that bits and pieces that didn't go our way with refs, but overall, that's not why we. And I know he's not saying that's why we lost the game. We were, we were just second best all over the pitch. Could have been given. The one I had a problem with, the one I did have a problem with was the delay in the Chiesa one, because that goes in the back of the net. You run in, you grab it, you run back to the center circle, you put the ball down on the spot, and you go, right, there's 4 minutes left, lads, right, let's go again. It took all the air out of it. It took all the momentum out of it. And we had to stop and we had to go again. And it lost us that kind of, we just scored a goal. There's 5 minutes left. Newcastle were getting nervous, thinking, oh shit, we've got
that in finals. How many times have we seen that in finals? Happens a lot in finals. It's not an unknown thing, is it? But yeah, slowing it down, that probably did kill it then, didn't it? Like, there was no chance. As I said, I actually thought, I only discovered later that our goals, because the thing I saw was obviously recorded before it had been ruled onside. We said, he's just got a goal, but it was ruled offside. So, yeah. Bit of a limp one that way, isn't it? But I am glad for Newcastle. Go for them to get a trophy. It's been since '69, since the Fairs Cup, which was a massive trophy, the Fairs Cup. They always mention that first. They go, Newcastle's domestic trophy. And just mention the Fairs Cup because that was a big trophy.
I think you're a little bit being a little bit nice with your words, Lee. If you had seen that game, I think you would have different opinion. A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, bro.
You know, like you're like on some good
for the parade. He's going to Newcastle. He is for the parade.
Not our year. It's not our year this year. It's somebody else's. I've seen us win this one loads of times. Another time would have been nice, but there will be another time.
That's the first time they beat us in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
there you go. And what a day to do it. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, bro, we got bullied, and that's all I'm going to say. That midfield.
One likes to bully.
Well, it's something of where it's just like, again, it's not exactly me saying that the referees are the sole reason why we lost this game. Not one bit of the word. All I am saying is that I'm angry because Elliot is hurt. Elliot is hurt from that action. And I'm actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up that for those out there that are acting nonchalant about the foul. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up what happened actually for you. Because that made me mad. It's difficult enough for our players to get like respect on the pitch sometimes from these officials in any word, in the word. But if it's going to be a situation where whether you saw the play or not, VAR is there for when the referee doesn't see the foul. That's exactly what they're there for. And let me see if I can show you this real quick. Give me 1 second. Some other questions too. Just wait for it to download here. Send it to my thing. So it'll take so long to download. Now it's taking forever. Whoops. All right, so let me see if I can show. I'm going to see if I can show you this right here. I'm going to bring in Pops as well. Pops is with us. How you doing, Pops?
Cool.
Can you hear us?
All good. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We can hear you. I'm going to before you chime in, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I'm going to show you what it is that I'm talking about. I was trying to show you just in a easier picture to show, but I'll just show off of mine. Off this.
Bless Pop.
Okay,
Very cool, bro.
Happy St. Paddy's Day, everybody.
Evening, Pops.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger,
Thank
bigger,
you,
bigger,
Pops.
bigger, JK. Yeah, yes, Laszlo, you know, it's for you. Make sure you have one for me, Laszlo.
One for you, two for me. Yeah, we do it
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Then
Yeah,
one for
cool,
Crabble,
cool.
2 more for you, and then one for
There you
Barnes
go.
and 2 more for you. See, you
Oh
see.
wow,
Yeah,
okay,
you see.
okay.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
another for Dakota, and then I'm on the tequilas.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Oh, there
Get
you
them
go.
Bajan rums.
Oh,
Never mix your
gracious.
drinks. Don't mix
No,
the
don't mix,
drinks.
don't mix. No, don't mix, don't mix.
Goodness gracious, goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to show you this as being the call that got missed, and that's Elliot after the game, limping. By the way, so this is what I mean. You can see Joe Linton. He's past. Elliot gets past him, and he's trying to get a part of. He's trying to get back, trying to get involved in the play, going ahead. Joe Linton reaches out, catches his ankle there, catches his ankle a second time, as you can see on the bottom screen there. But while at the same time pulling him down by his collar. It's called a horse collar here in America, at least, horse collar tackle. And this is the play that got him injured. How that's not a cardable offense is beyond me. But if you want to say it's yellow or it's not a red or it is a red, how about you allow for the referee to go to the monitor and have a look at something that I've just been told he didn't even see. That's all I'm talking about.
But
Thing
12.
is, as well, bro, what you're saying there, imagine he's got sent off there now. We've got 3 minutes to get a goal. We're going into extra time. They're playing with 10 men. You know what I mean?
He doesn't want
So,
that to be. Referees don't want to necessarily play a part in the outcome. Sending someone off with a red card, especially as we're getting momentum towards our favor, would actively be seen as being something of a momentum add additional to the momentum, having an impact on the game.
All right.
It's the fact that it wasn't a foul, didn't get a yellow card, something apparently that the sideline referee didn't see, something that the referee on the pitch, quote unquote, didn't see. And then VAR looks at it and then says, you know what?
Though. Look at the still. In the still, there is no ball. The referee and the linesman have gone in the opposite direction with the ball. They're not looking at the incident. You think that he knows this, you know. Joe Linton does this because he can see he's going in the direction of the ball, which is up the pitch, right?
Right.
So he's doing this looking at the back of the referee and the linesman running in the other direction. So he says this is a freebie. This is a freebie. VAR is going to look at that. Yes, it is. VAR is going to look at that, and the most they're going to say is, all right, that's a yellow card. Chiellini grabbed Saka by the collar, right? Was he sent off? I don't think he was sent off in that match, was he? He was just booked.
By VAR?
My
point is
I'm just saying, if you look at the two incidents, because he's grabbed him by the collar and pulled him to the floor. I don't think that's going to be a red card.
That is a red card. You know why that's a red card? Same reason why I'll let you respond. But this is why I would say is a red card. It's because the same reason. Maybe I have PTSD from the fact that I'm an Eagles fan, and the reason why this thing is called a horse collar tackle is because of what happened to Owens. He's a wide receiver was a wide receiver in the NFL. And the reason why it is because someone can pull you down by your collar, and you can end up tearing your ligaments in your knee, and thus it is a dangerous play. Period. It might have been a foul or a yellow card in your book, but that's still a very dangerous play that can end in result of an injury. And guess what? How about this? It possibly did. That's why I'm angry about it.
All right.
VAR had an opportunity for the referee to see it.
The
But the
NFL
referee
just now.
standing over an injured player that's on the
This isn't
pitch
the
right
NFL.
there, and he didn't do it, and he still didn't look at it.
But he hasn't seen it. VAR is going to be the one that's looked at it. It's just like the handball. VAR would have looked at the handball and said, yeah, that's in his running motion or whatever. The commentator said, yeah, that's natural or whatever they said. They said something stupid.
But the point is what you just said, though, Pops, is that if I'll give you the benefit of doubt, if the referee didn't see it, just allow for him to be the judge. You're now saying that VAR is making the wait. Hold on, you're not saying
because he hasn't seen it. Because he hasn't seen it. This is my assumption. I don't know for a fact that they did look at it, but I'm assuming that they would have looked at it and said, "Oh yeah, okay." Depending on how they'd said it, because we all know how the VAR goes. Great job, good job, all this stupidness that they talk about, and then it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo, right? Yeah. But the reason why I'm saying it is because we see this every week, so I'm not sure why we're surprised. The incompetence in the referees is no different from week to week. Every week, it might not necessarily be an hour match, but every single week of the league, there's did you see that? What? Oh, geez, how did they miss that? Oh, how did they miss that? Oh, how did they miss that one? Oh, that's poor. So it is what it is. As you said, this doesn't change the outcome. I guess I know you're just speaking about things that happened. Yeah, exactly. I get you, right? But
I'm not saying that this play is the difference maker in us winning or losing this game. No. But what I am saying is Joe Linton was allowed to be aggressive and physical the entire game. It wasn't like this player was on some, this is his first incident. This is something that should be overlooked or this or that, yada, yada, yada. This player's been playing at this kind of intensity the entire game. And then he goes way too far and ends up injuring our player.
He wasn't booked. He wasn't booked.
Oh, I get that he wasn't booked. That wasn't a foul.
So the physical play was then within the rules of the game.
It wasn't. No, it really
wasn't. Outside of this incident, forget this incident. He wasn't booked in the game. You said specifically, he's been physical all game long. Yes, because that's
what I am saying is that players were allowed to do this. As in Trippier got a call that possibly could have been a yellow card. He even thought it was a yellow card. He sat there and was arguing with the referee as to say, hey, I didn't do anything, trying to say his piece. He then proceeded to do another.
Found him very chatty,
and then got another talking to. And then got another talking to. My point is that they allowed for this to escalate to an incident where this isn't even remotely looked at because this referee's allowed for really egregious fouls to go unadjudicated.
Yeah, but you know what? You've played sports. When the ref says it's a high bar, then you go to the high bar. None of our players went to the high bar. Not one of our players says, you know what? Let me do something.
Let me start. Yeah.
No, no. If the ref is good with him doing that, and when I played, I always used to say,
how'd that work out for us in Everton?
And the ref says, yeah, that's good. No problem, ref. I just need to understand where you draw the line. It's here, nowhere, no problem. I'll get mine then. He had his, I'll get mine. That's it. Nobody on our side said, let me get mine. Not one single player. Joe Linton and Dan Burn decided that they were going home with medals. Those two players alone. Forget everybody else. Those two. None of our 11 plus 5, 16, probably outside of Chiesa, who had some energy, and Elliot, said, I want a medal yesterday. And that's really the issue. And then the big issue, obviously, is the fact that our coach told Chiesa to get up. I said, okay, you know what? The instant Chiesa touches the pitch, you've just opened Pandora's box. You've opened yourself up for criticism from everybody who was saying, where's this man? Where's this man? Where's this man? He doesn't even need to score for me. The instant he got onto the pitch, it was, so he can play. So if he can play, why didn't he play on Tuesday? Why didn't he play on Sunday? Why didn't he play? And that's the box that he's just opened for everybody to now to say, so why didn't this person play? How come you didn't rotate? And I'm surprised Nalante isn't on because that was his thing for the longest. We should be rotating. And I said, well, you might think so, but our coach has clearly shown us that that's not his intention. So now he has to answer all the questions that are going to be asked of him from now to the end of the season. Because if you want to go all the way back to when we played PSV, if we beat PSV or don't lose to PSV, then it changes the outcome of how the table runs and we don't get PSG. So everybody who complained, oh, we came first and we ended up with PSG, some of that's our own fault, though. We could have taken the points from PSV and that switches the order in the table. Not so?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it would have directly impacted it, but it would have had some impact.
PSV would have taken 3 points because they beat us.
They wouldn't have played.
So they would have ended where they finished. So they would have had to drop down. PSG would have gone up, and we wouldn't have seen PSG then if they were in an elevated position.
Yeah.
But that's all kind of like hindsight, but
right. But I still think that the primary reason why I'm mad about it is because our players hurt.
Was anything said though about the incident? Is there anything on the incident where you know how VAR like or they say we apologize or we looked at it and we didn't think it was this or whatever?
I think there was.
Just curiosity.
I think I'd have to look in my notes here, but I think that there was something. 1 second, let me see if I can find it. Because I think there was something. Blah blah blah. To okay, so not a reason we want to lose VAR. VAR claimed to have checked the collision with referee John Brooks unsighted, only to clear it as not worthy of a red card.
See?
This is despite the challenge coming. This is despite the challenge coming off the ball and almost certainly meriting a red card. A red card. So that's the next sentence too.
But VAR checked it and said it wasn't right, even though it merits a red card. See, but again, we've seen this before, so you just laugh.
Yeah, unfortunately for Elliott, there appeared to have been lasting damage, with the number 19 having to be helped off the pitch by medical staff at full time. He was then spotted limping through. That's the picture you can see here, limping through the mixed zone afterwards by reporters, with the suggestion being that he could have picked up an injury. Whether this impacts his involvement in the England U21's duty this month is to be seen.
What's he doing playing for the under 21s, man?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well, he can't play for the senior team without playing for us, can he?
What do you like? What's it? Under 21s, man. People like Elliott playing for the under 21s.
It's the fact that it ends up in an injury. That's what it makes me angry, because like it ends up in an injury. If it didn't, I would still be disappointed it not being called. But the fact that like you said, the referee neither ref was able to look at it. These dark arts by Joe Linton were allowed to be utilized to possibly injure a player. That makes me angry. That definitely gets me upset. And especially considering it's a player, I get it. I don't want to hear the player FC BS. It's a player that I think is a good player, and unfortunately for himself has been, suspect to some unfortunate injuries that have definitely taken out his ability to make a claim on minutes, maybe rightfully allotted or not rightfully allotted. It makes me disappointed to see that something like this could have now once again hamper maybe that opportunity for the player. That's one other thing. And there's also another player that we won't be able to utilize in still this stretch of games that we're going to need players to be able to be suited and ready for the 9 games we have coming up after the break, obviously. I'm looking to see.
Is that the same foot? Is that the same foot that he broke, or is it the other one?
Oh, I do not. No, No, the one that
And he's wearing both of his sneakers there,
because
right?
he got both his ankles. Joe Linton stepped on both of his ankles. Here, the one.
Oh, okay,
one,
okay. I see what
the
you're saying.
one
No, I
that
see
you're
what you're
looking at
saying. Yeah,
right
I see what
there.
you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. He got on the top one, he's on the right
So
one, and then on the left at the bottom. I see what you're saying.
exactly. So Joe Linton thought,
I
you
got
know what? Me just pulling the player down's not enough. I'm going to step on this guy's Achilles, and I'm going to step on his other Achilles real quick. But that's not a red card. That's cool. That's how we do it today.
That's VAR, isn't it?
It's a red card.
That's the VAR. VAR said we
that's
looked at it,
the settings we're on
and
today.
judged it as not a red.
Exactly. That hurts to see. But well, I'm glad that you are a part of the conversation. I only have this is the last segment. I know we might maybe went a little bit over and above on that topic, but yeah, let me just bring up this last segment that I have for us, and that is the segment of the final push. We're in the final push, people, in the sense of like this is what the title was called for the show, and the reason why it was called as such is because despite our exit from this cup competition, we still have to go out there and get these points. Basically, we have to go out there and get the work done because it's not concluded. We still have a very important push. So despite everything, here's the reality. We are 12 points clear, 5 more wins, and the Premier League is ours. 5 more wins, and it doesn't matter. However, for some of us, I want to see us end with as many points as possible that we can get in this effort. So Roger Van Dijk put it plainly. We have 9 games. This is a quote by him. We have 9 games to go, and I, meaning Virgil van Dijk, this is him speaking, I don't think that there's any motivation needed. What is needed is we need to realize there is hard work and still a job to do. The fixtures ahead are Everton at home, Fulham away, West Ham away, Leicester home, and Tottenham home. In those 5 games upcoming, 1, 2, 3, make sure. Yeah. In those 5 games, we win those 5 games. Fulham on the road is going to be a difficult matchup. Let's not get it twisted. One that we should still win, I think, but one that is not going to be a walkover. And Leicester is away. My fault then. And then let me get the lineup let me get it in front of us actually. Whoops. So I can make sure. So Everton is home. Fulham is away. West Ham is home. Leicester is away, and Spurs is home. So it's home, away, home, away, home is our next 5-game run against those teams. We mark those games with W's. And Chelsea, when we go to the bridge, Chelsea is giving us a guard of honor. My question, what's the key for Liverpool to maintain focus and get over the finish line? I'll ask Pops, since he's joining us, what his answer is. Pick up Maddie Mad, by the way.
Big up, Maddie. What's the key to focus?
What's the key for Liverpool to maintain focus and get over the finish line? And I'll ask you the follow-up question is, are you confident that Liverpool will win the Prem? Unlike some people that have all of a sudden put it as a question mark, are you still confident?
Let's not do that. Let's not do this.
I'm
The
just
question
asking.
mark part. You can drop that off of me. Let's not do that.
Okay.
Arsenal are maxed at 85. As you said, we need 15 to get to 85.
Right.
They're part of the 50. Their 85 includes us, which means then obviously we're not going to lose that game to them. So it's not even going to take 15, to be honest. It could be less. And they're going to start thinking about their possibility of winning the Champions League. So
I think
mean-
if we win, I think what I was saying though is that because we play
before
Chelsea,
them. It's
and we
before
play-
them. It's before them. Yeah, got you.
It's
Yeah,
way it's even before that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But their max is 85, which includes us, and they're not beating us, so that's not
Right.
happening.
Right.
Yeah,
But by that time, we would have already.
yeah.
We would've-
We want
yeah,
the guard of
okay.
honor when they come to town as well. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Mr. Arteta.
Very
Thank you.
much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, it's one of those ones where you say you've worked this hard all season long. You've had a disappointing week, and this is something that everybody at the club will learn from, especially our coach, Mr. Locke, because this is his first year and this 14, 15, whatever he was talking about. I hope he doesn't necessarily mean that, but we'll see. That's another topic, I guess, for conversation.
Good
But
luck.
yeah, no, we'll see, because that can't be a serious statement, to be honest. But I don't know what else you need to say. You've done the hard work. We've lost one game in the league. Let's just say we drew with Forest. We would be talking about invincible season. How crazy would that be? So I don't see that there's any motivation required from the team to finish the job. As much as people are saying, "Oh well, you were talking about the quad and then the treble. Now it's only going to be the league." I said, "Only the league? Okay, fine, thanks. I'll only win the league many times if that's what it is. Thanks. No, I'll be happy to only win the league. Let's keep doing only winning the league. I'm good with that." I heard Laszlo say something, and I'm in total agreement with Laszlo.
That would be made up to only win the league, isn't it, this season?
Yeah. I'm good with that, Lee. Let's keep only winning the league. I don't want to hear any tweets or Instagram messages or any of this mumbo jumbo. "Oh yeah, we'll try better. Thanks for the." Nah, shut up.
It'd be nice to retain it this time because we should have in 2020, 21 and would have if Jordan Pickford wouldn't have stepped in and did what he did. The little shit. So
let's take our time, Lee. Let's take our time. Let's take our time and get this one and enjoy it. So let's enjoy every win from now to the end of the season. Let's enjoy this. Let's talk about the next one, but let's enjoy only winning this one. And then we can go again next season. But let's take our time. Forget summer, forget all the buys and the sells, and forget all of that. Let's enjoy this.
This should be good. This running, we've got it all to do still, like in a way, and it should be good. This running, I reckon we will try and win as many games as we can now. Hopefully, they'll have their heads cleared by the time we come back, and so will the coach and staff, and we'll just be ready for it. It's a great thing that it's Everton in the return fixture after the international break. We couldn't have picked a better fixture, motivation-wise. So bring it on.
Yeah, I mean, heck,
according
to some, as long as the referees don't see it, why not have a hack here or there at the Corée, right?
Again, 12. You've played the sport. You know how to do these things. You have to know. You could see when the ref isn't looking. You can see. The ref is. Yeah. Am I clear? Yeah, you're clear. Slightly different sport now because there are more cameras, obviously, but.
Yeah. Well, Van Dijk said it himself. We have to work our butts off. So, the same question to the panel then. What's the key to maintain? What's the key to get us these next 5 wins? What's the key to getting these next 5 wins? And do you see us getting these next 5 wins in the way that we are currently? In the way that we are currently, do you see us getting these?
If we can start with a win, yeah. If we can start by winning that game against Everton, that derby, then yeah, I don't see why we couldn't go on and win and run. Fulham away, it's not easy, but it's a place where we can go and win, and we have gone and won. I mean, we've got Chelsea away and Arsenal at home still, but they're the only. Everyone else we've played twice, haven't we? Pretty much City, United, Spurs. So it's just Arsenal.
We got Spurs to come.
Oh, we got Spurs again, haven't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we played them enough times, haven't we, already this season?
Yeah, in the cup.
So
for me, bro, they need to toughen up.
Run into it and looking forward to holding the trophy a lot. Don't want to jump the gun, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it big time.
Yeah, what doesn't say is what is it that let me bring this picture down. We don't need to look at that any longer. What is it that you see, JK, since we've gotten Pops and Lee's opinions? What is your opinion? Do you those 5 games, it's basically home away, home away. Home goes home, away, home, away, home, and then away to Chelsea. That's a 6 game. But again, Everton and the likes. What do you see?
For me, bro, toughen up, and they're not going to get no international rest. International rest. They're not going to get no rest in the next 2 weeks as well. They'll be training with Holland. A lot of our players will be, so they're not going to really get rest. Gapco, I don't mind, but he's coming back from injury, and he probably needs that to get maybe come back into the team. I think them 2 games he might play for Holland might be good for him. Virgil and Gravenberch, on the other hand, for me, Gravenberch is shattered and should not even played in the final. So for me, Slot needs to sort of wake up in that way of realizing what's happened in the past week and what you can do going into the Everton game and then the next Premier League games. For me, toughen up and get the players into the team who are not going to be tired. Like for me, Endo Chiesa could do a job against Everton at home. No problem.
Okay.
And if they can't, they shouldn't be at Liverpool. So for me, that's the main one. It's your options. You got the options. Look at our bench yesterday. It was sound. We had a good bench. You know, the way they came on weren't good, but yeah, we had a good bench. But all in all, bro, the guys have to toughen up. We got bullied twice in a week. We got bullied big time, and that is so embarrassing. We were saying that that's our midfield's the best in the Premier League. He's the best in Europe. And when it was on form, it could have been, yeah. But now we've got a tired midfield. And what we've got 2 games where we got bullied and we lost both games. Simple as that.
Okay. Brian, I have another quick follow-up question too, as well. But go ahead. Brian, do you have an opinion you want to bring?
Not in a good mood now. What we talking about? What do we got to do to bring it home? You just beat Everton. You go out, you brush it under the carpet, you do all the things people want to do, blame it on this, blame it on that. Do whatever makes you feel better. And just go out and beat the next one. Go out and beat the next team. This is our league. Good league, lucky Liverpool, yada, yada, yada. Don't matter. We're going to win the league title. I know Pops is saying it's not 2-30, it's 2-7, right? You know, we recreate that spirit, that energy that we had. And like I said, I'm here to hold my hands up. I'm here to say I was wrong. I'm here to say Nolante was right. I'm here to say that he should have rotated more. Nolante was here from the start saying, this will catch up on us, this will catch up on us.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah, just give me a chance, Lee, yeah. I was pushing back a lot because I thought the thing was more about the players that was like, oh, we want this player, this player, this player. I was like, okay, but he's trusting the players that have done it for him. Okay. Not that certain players weren't good enough. And yes, it has come back to bite us in the arse. Exactly like Nolante said it would. I'm sorry he's not here now because I would be putting my hands up saying he was spot on, that this would come back and bite us in the arse. And yesterday, we looked like a team I've never seen before. Never seen it before. I've never seen such a weak, tired, lacking in energy, lacking in ideas, lacking in fight Liverpool out there on the pitch in a cup final. In a cup final, normally you'll get guys that they'll go through the wall, you know? And then he did that ridiculous thing where I love it when we're playing a team and all they do is throw on more strikers, more forwards, because they haven't got a fucking clue then. They're just throwing on forwards to trying to win a game, taking off defenders, taking off midfielders. And then who's going to give you the ball? Who's going to give you the ball? Who's going to work it? No, let's throw on another striker. Let's throw on another forward. Those subs were, that to me is a manager who's famous for his love of control, his love of grinding things out. That was a manager just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what would stick. And guess what? None of it stuck. Not one bit of it. So, yeah, I think he's going to have to run this home now. But he's got questions to be answered now. Maybe he has to reevaluate the way he looks at things. I'm not here to say, look, I'm wrong 99% of the time. I get the odd thing right. 99% of the time, football proves us wrong, proves me massively wrong. I thought we had enough in the tank to be able to do this. Four games off, 4 days off, a bench. Everyone was agreeing with me on the thing. Look at our bench. If we need to change this, and they need to change it, our bench will blow their bench out of the water. Did they bring on any subs? I know they brought on a few at the end. We were throwing everything at it, and none of it worked. So it's a learning curve for everybody. He'll probably just go. I don't know what he's going to go back and do, but yeah, again, it's only the league, only the league. That's what we all would live for at the end of the day. It's what I live for, anyways. Winning league titles. As long as we can do that, we got 20 now. We're level with these boys. But yeah, we have been found. Chiesa came on. He showed what he can do. Can he do that from the start? Would he have done it? I don't fucking know. He did it yesterday. He came on. He got his goal. Brilliant. I was one people forget. I've been saying from day one, this guy's brilliant. You bring him on, he makes a difference. He tries. He creates shots. He creates chances. And yeah, he hasn't been getting enough opportunities. But that's down to Mo Salah. That's down to other people. Mo Salah has one goal in his last 8 cup finals. In his last 8 cup finals, Mo Salah has one goal for Egypt and Liverpool cup finals, and that was a penalty. So, you know what I mean? Hopefully now it is a wake-up call for Slot to realise that maybe he has other things. We were found out yesterday, Dara. We were found, maybe not found out, but we were found wanting. What we have to do now for the end of the season is to put to bed this absolutely, can I just say, absolutely ridiculous and ludicrous talk that I've been listening to for the last 24 hours. Oh, we're going to bottle the league if we play like this. We're going to bottle this league. Please go back, just take that and put it somewhere else, This is our league to win. We come back and we win it, but there will be a little bit of a taint on this now. I'm not a 4 trophies guy. I'm not, we want to win everything, or we will win everything. I don't think that's possible, especially with this kind of rotation and this kind of smaller squad. But to lose a final and to lose to PSG in the way we did, that ain't good enough. We can get beaten in a final, but not the way we got beaten yesterday. Steve McMahon, Graham Souness, all these people are talking about. Steven Gerrard. I think Steven Gerrard is getting bullied around like that yesterday. No, he's not. He's not. Mac, no. What happened to him? So obviously, things that need to be changed were highlighted yesterday. And to be outfought and out in fair, look, Eddie Howe got his tactics right. He beat this coach. I've seen multiple videos today breaking down exactly what they did to us. And every single one of them was showing exactly what they did. And it was the same things. They had a plan. They put that plan in action and they beat us using that plan. So this is now a time for Slot to say, what kind of legacy do you want to have? What kind of coach do you want to be? And where do you want to take this club? It's a wake-up call for absolutely everybody. And when we win this league at the end of the season, I won't be worried about this cup final. Right now, of course, we are. But it wasn't acceptable what happened yesterday. It was just not acceptable. To get walked over like that and to look like a bunch of zombies out on the pitch. Jota did nothing. Nothing. Diaz did nothing. Salah did nothing. Gravenberch. Mac. Dom. Did Dom play yesterday?
I don't know, bro.
This is probably the worst I've seen VVD play. VVD was ragdolled by Isak. Ragdolled. And he was even joking with him. Look at Isak's celebration after the second goal. He was taking the piss out of Virgil van Dijk. Nobody takes the piss out of Virgil van Dijk. Nobody. But that happened to us yesterday. So I'm not happy. I'm not happy with a lot of things. And I'm not happy with myself for my own delusions about what this coach was doing. I'm not happy with my own predictions. I'm not happy with my own ideas, what was happening. That's football. It's a slap in the face for all of us. Right? So what happened yesterday, it happened. But like Lee said, fair play to Newcastle. I would have said 10 years ago, fair play to them. I don't give a shit what this Saudi-owned bastards win now. Hope they lose everything, get relegated. Okay? That's what I'm angry about. I'm angry about a lot of things. And I don't want to hear most of what people are saying with this bottling the league bullshit. Don't want to hear about that. But today is about yesterday, and yesterday was a freaking disaster on everybody's part. Where was Robbo? Robbo, where are you getting stuck in? Why are you not seeing Joe Linton going around celebrating every fucking tackle and interception he made like it was a goal-winning chance? That's how you win finals, with an attitude. I know what we're talking about after that, but that kind of steel, that kind of determination, that kind of attitude, that's what wins you finals. Why did we not step up to his level and say, do you think you're going to do that to us, mate? Bang, have that. That's what I'm talking about. And we didn't have that yesterday. So he needs to get them in, stop this, whatever he's been doing, and just say to these people, look, you're here for 1 year and 1 year only. Some of you won't be here in the summer. Go out and perform. Go out and do what you're going to do, because I'm sick of it with some of these players, man, not performing on a weekly basis. And like I said, Nalante has been spot on. I've been sparring with him. I've been trying to do my own thing with him. I've been trying to play devil's advocate. I've been trying to debate with him. That's what we're here for. I have my own, but he's been spot on. This coach has completely underestimated what it takes to win things and what it took to go up against the Newcastle side. You boys said it. You boys said it. How can you put the same team that got done like that really weakly against a PSG team in a different way? They took the ball off us. They didn't bully us. They took the ball off us and said, you're not having it. This is our ball. You're not good enough to take it off us. Prove us wrong. And we couldn't. What did we score in those two goals? In those two games? One fucking goal? No, it hasn't been good enough. And I'm here tonight to put my hands up and say I've been completely wrong. This has come back to bite us. We should have rotated more. We should have, whether it's Endo, that's a different, whether it's Chiesa, that's a different. But against Southampton, we should have rotated more. We should have made sure that this was not going to happen. And it did happen. And here we are right now with what we have. Egg on our face, egg on my face, humble pie, crow, the whole lot. Put it on my plate, I'll eat it. Because I deserve to eat, because I was completely wrong. Completely wrong.
I was telling myself that Slot knew best, like, and he'd know how far to push them physically, but he obviously didn't. And it's come home to roost in the last two games on it, and it was clear to see for most people. So yeah, there you go. We did underestimate, like, we overestimated Slot. Sorry, we didn't underestimate anything. We overestimated Slot because everything's gone pretty much perfectly so far this season. We thought, oh, he's got this in hand. We won't run out of legs, but we have, haven't we?
This is the play where the referee, sideline referee, deemed Chiesa offsides. He's got a good look. You can see that much. Make sure that's him right there, peering down the line.
It looks like he's not taking the second player into account.
He can't see anything from there. He can only see Salah from there. If you look at his position, he can't see Chiesa. He's an idiot. He's flagging Mo offside. You can't see Chiesa from there. Look at that. Look at it. Joke. You know what's funny? Was he the linesman that didn't flag the offside for them?
This is what the offside showed, or at least they showed on offsides when he drew the line.
Yeah, that angle's bad though. I don't like that angle there.
I don't. You can still see that
he's defended too far back. You have him too far back. He's not that far back. It's too much like this. Yeah.
You turn it around.
Skewed. If you look at the lines on the grass, You can see that it's the angle. The angle is sort of
Mhm.
You need to kind
This
of
is
bring it that way a little bit.
which one?
All you have to do is keep his bloody flag down. You soon see
I
it
just
was
think you can
offside.
honestly see that he's deeper into the, as you said, the lines.
Into the
Lines are
green.
also
Yeah.
into the green part. You can see that his
Easy,
back
easy call
foot
for
is
anybody.
easily in front of the back foot of
Yeah.
the player. And the part and point is, allow VAR to figure it out. VAR's going to replay it anyway. They're going to relook at it. It's because of the goal.
That's
This referee, this
usually
sideline
what they
referee, thought
do.
it was offside.
Is he the lino that did? Remember I want to say it was the first half, and I could be wrong, but there was a ball that came to, I think Murphy was offside on their right.
Mm-hmm.
Verge was pointing. He refused to signal, and they ended up winning a corner from a deflection, even though Murphy would have been. And Murphy was offside clearly.
Yeah.
But he didn't flag.
No,
He didn't flag. And then
Yeah.
you don't go back to that once it goes into the next phase and it's a corner or a free kick. They usually go to that next play. But he was offside clear. It was easier to see that one than this one for sure. So I'm wondering if it's the same linesman, to be honest. But again, these jokers don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's just poor officiating. Let's just get it.
Yeah. They're incompetent there. They're incompetent. When I hear people say there's a anti whichever team you are sentiment, I say, no, it's not that. They're not anti Liverpool. They're anti football. Yeah, they're just rubbish.
Everyone listen.
Absolutely rubbish. In the Arsenal Chelsea game, I think Fofana stepped on Declan Rice. He stepped on him, and he wasn't sent off. Then he committed, I think, 2 other fouls that he could have been booked for. And you know what he got booked for? Throwing an additional ball onto the field. So you know when the ball goes off, there's one on a cone. He grabbed it, and the ball boy had given somebody else the ball, and he threw that one on the pitch, and that's what he was booked for. As opposed to an egregious foul and then 2 other fouls. I said, look at this. Look, see, this is the problem. This is why people complain about you idiots.
Yeah. Well, I had some other questions, but we're already at the 2-hour mark. I wanted to make sure that we got all those questions in, or at least all the segments in. There's some other segments, other portions or parts that are going on in the Liverpool verse. There's talk about BVD getting persuaded to join Padre. There's talk about Nunez and Diaz being the first to be out the door, possibly. There's also some talks about maybe Liverpool maybe yesterday was an audition for Isak to be a part of Liverpool. These are all questions that we'll deal and dive into tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Get your banter or this or that ready. I see Matty Mads talking about ambition already, so we'll save that. That'll probably be another 30-40 minute segment in itself. But definitely, do you have anything going off today for the channel? Talking to Pops, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Just haven't seen anything in the chat, to be honest. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Check the notification bell. That's all I'll say, guys. I know all of you all have subscribed already, so thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. We enjoy having you on board, and we enjoy the back and forth and the conversation with our peoples. Them love it. I don't know if we can do any more on this game, to be honest. I think there's not a very good feeling in around this one.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
JK said it. The minimum to me, the minimum is just effort.
Yeah,
nobody
absolutely.
to me made the minimum yesterday. I was very, very disappointed with our lads yesterday. Very disappointed.
Agreed. Let me ask. JK, do you have anything coming up for LRFC or any of the things that you
Maybe tomorrow, bro. But there'll be notifications for that as well. See what Nalante is doing as well.
Okay.
I'll tell him that he was right, that we could have used more rotation. I'll message him after the show. I'll message him. But yeah, it's true what he was saying, bro. It's common sense, and I don't think Arne Slot's used that in the last week. Common sense got, like, for me, I thought he had common sense, Arne Slot, and it hasn't really shown that in the last week alone. So, but for me, that's a big topic we could talk about. Press the like button on the video, and also like press subscribe to Pop's Irishman as well, and 12 as well.
The good thing is you can learn common sense over the years, can't you? When things go wrong, you learn from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We'll see. I know the only way you can get an answer for that is just, I guess, wait and see. Wait and see. Brian, do you have anything coming up for Irishman football?
Do I? Right now? Fuck me. Oh my God. Oh, the Jose Mourinho quote. If I speak, I've already spoken. Maddie, please don't come in here and call me a retard or anybody else a retard and tell us to suck anything. You can suck my dick, man. Oh.
Okay. Okay. Lee, did you have anything you wanted to say before? Maybe on a
See, they said something about students in the chat, and I was just thinking of Paul Carr, the Steve Coogan character. Bloody students, back of shit.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess with that said, that's all for today's Liverpool 12-man show. Ended on definitely some testy matters there, but we talked about the talking points. We've now we turn it over to you out there in the chat, and also all right, let's not escalate it. I'm deleting some chats, some things. Let's just not escalate it. Let's just let it go.
Lee, get ready for the derby. Me and you are playing.
Yeah. We don't need another Joe Linton. Yeah, we don't need Joe Linton actions being performed out here.
Yeah.
Look, drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the discussion going. We are so close to lifting this trophy, but we need belief, unity, and determination to see it through, obviously, by not only us, the fans, but also by this team, by every one of the members that call themselves a Red out there. So make sure to like, subscribe, and share to keep building this this amazing journey that we're all on. And be sure to keep an eye out for the notifications for whether it's Beijing Reds TV or whether it's the Irishman football channel, or if it's LRFC with JK and Nalante, or even this channel here alone. Please do continue to support us. We appreciate it. It means immensely a lot to us. We'll be back tomorrow for some deep dives. Obviously, some of those parts and points about the ESAC audition, the PSG in for BVD talk, Nunez and Diaz possibly going to be the first to exit the team, as in for transfers. But until then, let's just say it like it is. Up the Reds, people. Keep it that way, please. Up the Reds. And let's get it going. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow, and definitely peace and be blessed.